Pania is an adventurer, and you'll see from reading about her that she has travelled extensively and she's done lots and lots of really different and interesting things. Pania comes to the branch with bringing a lot of spirit and energy and a real willingness to bring women together. So please, let's welcome Pania Schwenke.
Have you ever wondered how you got to where you are today? The different people you've crossed paths with who have shaped you as a person today. The many different decisions that you've impacted your life. Just over a year ago, Auckland Central Branch hosted an AGM, and I was very fortunate to be a part of this. This shop is a true reflection of what PACIFICA represents, the foundation to the future. It was a lovely and heartwarming experience, and there was a lot of laughter, and I walked away cherishing the stories of PACIFICA women who worked hard at establishing this organisation. Today, I'm speaking to you as the ACB PACIFICA President. Yes, I dared to join this dynamic, crazy group of ladies who filled an empty space in my life when my dear mother passed away. She would have just loved being part of this group. My mother shared the same values and traditions. One of our events, which I'm proud to be part of, is our Breast Cancer Awareness Walk and Breakfast. This is held every year at Cornwall Park, where we come together to support and honour our Pacific women in breast cancer. The courage and the stories are inspirational. It is just a beautiful picture to see at the break of dawn a sea of pink waves around the base of Mamakiki. From walking around the base of Mamakiki, somehow and somewhere, 42 kilometres later, 12 of us Pacifica women pledged to run the New York Marathon to further increase the awareness of breast cancer. I can't exactly say that this was one of my dreams, more like it was a nightmare. But what can you say? When you have these energetic women, you've just got to follow them. You don't want to miss out. Here are the stepping stones that represents my global journey from east to west into the heart of the Pacific. First stone, or the cornerstone, which is the foundation and foundation of my life, my great-grandfather Gustav Nitzler from Germany, my grandmother Funua Atua from Samoa, and my great-grandfather Hihau from China. And these are many generations of bookkeepers and merchants which I had no idea would filter down a century later and be a part of my life. As a child, my parents instilled in me the values of being industrious, hardworking, empathy, and generosity. For as long as I remember, I was always working as a young child. What's a girl without her culture? I was blessed to be submerged in the Samoa. My parents taught me the value of culture and intelligence, to respect, to love, to appreciate, to learn from our ancestors, and most of all, to Amaitautua, or as we all know, to serve. I learned very quickly that it was your culture that set you apart from others. The second stepping stone was the value of investing in education. Ironically enough, I do not recall having the dream to further my education. It kind of happened by default, which is another factor in my life that seemed to occur quite regularly. My mother calls it luck. I say it's one door opening after another door. After Samoa College, I attended the National University of Samoa, and this led me to a government scholarship in New Zealand, which I attended Otago University. I had no idea what degree to study. I just thought I'd just go with what's out there, and I thought they'll send me to Victoria, so I picked commerce. The government had another idea for me. Like many students after uni, you want to go to New Zealand. My parents did not agree. They came, yanked me from Auckland, took me back home, and said, get a real job. My first job was Pricewaterhouse, and that taught me that I'm a people's person. I do not like studying numbers. After a couple of years in Samoa, I was introduced to this top executive who asked me, what do you know about Starkist foods in American Samoa? And I said, you know what, that plant really stinks. And he looked at me and he said, that's the smell of money. And little did I know that it was the largest tuna manufacturing operation in the world, and I wanted to be a part of this workforce. So after living in American Samoa for less than a couple of years, I moved to California, following my personal dream. No, it wasn't to be an actress in Hollywood, it was actually to get married. One of the biggest decisions which impacted both my personal and my professional life. Luckily for me, another door opened and I was transferred to Los Angeles and moved into the seafood business. Well, whilst the stepping stones appear to be brightly lit in my professional life, there were moments that they're a mere glimmer in my personal life. Put it this way, when your parents say, don't marry that man, don't marry that man. I threw myself into my work. I decided I had way too much free time in my hands, so I took on 2 part-time jobs in the airlines to keep me grounded and sane, and also just to keep connected to the South Pacific. So I worked 18 hours a day, which was really good, made me happy. So just when I thought that I had the perfect life, my career was at its peak, I was traveling the world, and I was just having way too much fun. Then all of a sudden I could feel a shift in my stepping stones. My parents became unwell and I began commuting to Auckland from LA. Without thinking, one day I said to my parents, I'm coming to Auckland. Well, I didn't really mean it, but some of my parents like, oh, come to Auckland and live here. So I guess my stepping stones need an extension. I moved to New Zealand to care for my aged parents. This created a whole new dimension in the stepping stones of my life. Do you know what it's like to live under the same roof as a 40-year-old with traditional and religious parents? Not easy. So basically, what they say goes, and you're always going to be their little baby. So I thought if I was going to live here in New Zealand, I'm going to do something that different. Maybe fulfill a dream that I had as a young adult when I was working for Pania Schwenke. I decided to completely change my career path and wanted to be a flight attendant. My parents thought I was crazy. People said to me, are you going through a midlife crisis? People do this in their 20s. And I said, I'm choosing to do it in my 40s, so that's okay. So anyway, after a year of flying, I did my bit. And then I decided to go back on the ground, and now I'm managing the flight attendants. So what's this slide was love. And this one is basically my family. And we all need a cornerstone. And I would say that this is a cornerstone of my life. Family, traditions, friends. These are the people that shaped my life. These are the people that made my shoulders a little bit broad, as they are now. And I will be forever grateful. And how did I get here? I know it wasn't by myself. Each time it was to gauge which stone to step on, left or right, hot or cold, stable and insecure. But all I know is that to have a positive attitude, believe that people are good, know your self-worth, value your culture, and learn from those who have come before you. Dare, dream, and do it. That's going to be me at 80.
That last photo was taken at the end of the conference that Pania talked about. And that is Moira Walker. And she decided in getting this big group photo that she was just going to let loose. And it was just the most fabulous moment. And we all kind of went, yeah, we want to be like that to 80. So really big part of Lily's